Just the work I'm putting into my body, keeping my body fresh to be able to go out and play every game right now, and just being alert, being sharp, being attentive, and then just being who I am, and that's a guy that plays in pretty much every position. Started off well in Denver, got our butts kicked in L.A., then we had a good win in Phoenix, and we had our chances in Portland, even though we were short-handed versus a team that's won 11-0. But we finished the season on the longest road trip, 3-3 on this 12, 13-day road trip. And with all the injuries and all the adversity we had on this trip, we'll take it.
This is interesting. With the win, the Cavaliers continue this trend. Since the All-Star break, Cleveland is 1-6 against winning teams and now 5-1 against teams with records under 500, which suggests to me that this is what the Cavaliers are right now, kind of a middle-of-the-road mediocre team for the moment, despite having the best player on the planet on the roster, because they don't defend and because of all the lack of continuity with people coming and going roster-wise.
If you look at the names who are signed to contracts and are on their roster, if they all come back, if they get healthy, if Tyronn Lue figures out who's starting and who's coming off the bench with this conglomeration of changes that's taken place, are they good enough to make it back to the Eastern Conference Finals? Yes. Can they win in the Eastern Conference Finals? Right now, Toronto has clearly been the best team in the East. Toronto is really good. But having said all that, Cleveland is still good enough to get back to the finals.
I still heard 3 ifs at the beginning of that.
We don't know if they're going to be healthy. That's
right.
That's
that's a problem for them. And look, it comes back. Their defense isn't good.
Hasn't been all year.
Hasn't been all. They had that brief stretch where they started playing better defense, but they've kind of reverted to the mean again. And I just don't know in the playoffs how, unless you got Golden State's kind of firepower,
right?
How you plan to just outscore, people 12 times to get to the NBA Finals? I don't know. You can't do it. You got to stop people,
right?
And I don't know. They don't stop anybody.
They don't stop anybody. And the number 2 that they've had now plays for the Boston Celtics. The number 2 scorer presumably will be Kevin Love, who's been out of the lineup for the last few weeks, and will get back before the end of the regular season. But can he fill that role to that level?
It'll be the same question that the Spurs would have if they get Kawhi back, that the Wizards would have if they get Wall back. What version of this guy am I getting back?
Right.
And I don't have time to find out. I got to just throw him back in there because there's no more time. The playoffs are starting in 3 weeks.
No time for practice either. They're on this every other day schedule right now. Milwaukee's on, Monday?
Well, they come back with 1 day off. Okay, they'll fly back now, short flight from Chicago. Day off on Sunday. They play Milwaukee at home on Monday. They play Toronto at home on Wednesday.
Right.
Those are the first 2 after being away for 12 days. And the one thing that still remains the same, and has been like that now for a while, they are one big short. They don't have that big physical guy in there. Okay, Larry Nance Jr.'s come in. He's been terrific, but he's not a big physical guy.
They move people out of there.
Thompson's not big and physical. They don't have a big physical guy.